Hey everyone, it's Jan van der A and I'm here with Vladimir Skultety. Skultety. I always have difficulties pronouncing your name. Now, Vladimir is a super polyglot. They uploaded this video on YouTube a few years ago. It got like what, 3 or 4 million views by now?
3.5.
3.5. Like a video in which he spoke 19 languages. Very impressive. He also got invited for the Russian TV show. How was it called?
Удивительные люди.
Which means
unbelievable people.
Unbelievable
Which is
people.
not to say I'm unbelievable. I was just in that show.
You were just in the show. You almost won it, right?
I was second. Yeah, I finished second.
You were second. And we're basically testing Vladimir's language abilities. Very impressive. I will put a link to that video in the description below. Today Vladimir is going to share some of his language learning tips with us. Vladimir.
So
yeah,
I think language learning is not a science. I have just 3 things that I observe.
Yeah.
And whenever people ask me, there has to be some magic or whatever, and
yeah,
I'm not selling anything. I'm not. This is not my profession. But there are 3 basic things that I observe when I learn languages. And
yeah.
The first thing is learn by using.
Yeah.
So that's basically throw yourself into the language.
Yeah.
Maybe depending on how difficult it is. People say that with more difficult languages it's impossible, but I think it's possible with Chinese too.
Yeah.
So learn by using, that means speak, read,
yeah,
and listen, and try to decipher the language on your own and try to understand, how to use it, how people use it.
Yeah.
So that's the first rule.
How would you start learning a language? Because
I would just go to the place where the language is spoken, or find a person from that country, and I would just say hello. How do you say hello, and just go from there, or maybe just.
So really, every time you learn a new word or a new phrase, you start using it, and
I would say yeah. I mean, I use many other approaches as well, and it depends on the language. Like Italian, or Russian, maybe would be a waste of time going from those basics, because. Yeah. For me, Russian, my native language is Slovak, so learning Russian is much easier. It's like Russian is maybe 70%, 60% Slovak, so it would be a waste of time of not using to your benefit everything that you already know. But I still think that in either case, in any scenario, the more you speak, the more you listen, and the more you write, it's just fantastic. I mean, listen, speak, and read, and maybe write if you want.
So would you say that you have more of like a kind of output-based?
Input output, because that's it. The learn by using is basically massive input, massive output.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you learn. So you learn by using.
I see.
The second rule is practice, practice, practice. So this means rule number 1: as much as you can.
Yeah.
So talk to people as much as you can, read as much as you can, and listen as much as you can.
How do you do that? Because I can imagine many people watching this video and they're thinking by themselves, hey, but I don't live in a country where that language is spoken.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? What does your language learning routine look like?
So,
do you really practice all those languages every day, or how is it possible to maintain so many languages? And
so the thing is that you can bypass a lot of the stuff that are impossible to do when you're not living in country. For instance, you can do a lot of listening to authentic content.
Yeah.
And while you do that listening, you simultaneously translate it in your mind into your native language.
So that's what you're doing?
That's what I do. That's a form of practice. Yeah, that's really good.
Okay.
What I also like is to read a lot intensively. So that means you analyze the text and then reread until you can understand it perfectly. Same thing with listening. If you are maybe like an intermediate student, so I would listen to audio that is 1 level above my level.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Before we get ourselves killed here. Shooting this just for a YouTube video, but no, it didn't happen.
So audio that is 1 level above my level, and try to decipher it and try to learn every expression and every word that is in it, and then listen to it again and again and again.
How does your routine look like? Like how many hours? How much time do you spend doing this? Like a day or per week?
Now almost 0, because I'm not spending that much time on learning languages. Yeah, I'm almost retired. But when I was learning Russian, for instance, I would routinely listen to Russian language news for 8 hours a day, every single day.
That's very extreme. Yeah.
Yeah, from at least 3-4 hours a day and up to 8 hours a day, and it was massively helpful.
But you were doing other things at the same time, or not? Like going to the gym, for example.
Yeah, because you go to the gym listening to the news, right? Yeah. So it's all right.
What about speaking practice?
Speaking practice. Well, this is a problem, right? Because If you don't live in the country, it's sometimes really difficult.
Yeah.
So what I did was basically, it's something I call like the distributed burdens.
Yeah.
You first learn how to understand the language.
Yeah.
And then when you get into the country where the language is spoken, you don't have to worry about the understanding part anymore. So
Yeah.
you just go there and you concentrate on speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah. And the third rule that I had, because I told you about too, is be curious. Like you have to be curious, and you have to, like, you can't expect the language to just suddenly appear in your head if you've put in enough time. So be curious. Try to always ask yourself, why are they saying things like that? Why are we saying them like that?
Yeah.
Why am I pronouncing it this way, but when I hear native speakers talk, they say something different? What can I do to improve that? So yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with talent?
I think there is talent, definitely.
Yeah. So you do believe that some people are better at learning
definitely.
languages?
I do believe that talent plays a huge role in learning.
Yeah.
But I still think that
even if you don't have
even if you don't have talent, you can learn a language. Maybe it will take you longer. Maybe you will not learn as well.
Maybe your pronunciation won't be as good.
But definitely you will learn a language for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. And that was it for today. We're gonna come with more YouTube videos very soon. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Ciao.